It's going to be a cloud-based website, so you can access it from anywhere, any internet browser. Internet Explorer does work, but it is probably the worst functioning browser for the system. I use Chrome. You're going to have your email is going to be your login, and you're going to create a password. Passwords are created. We're going to walk through that process in just a little bit. It's going to automatically take you right into your account. So you're not going to see that last screen. It's going to just take you right into here. It's 6 p.m. tonight. All right, one thing to kind of keep in mind is this is a global-based system based out of Europe. So things happen sometimes on their time. Friday afternoons, there are some times at 3 o'clock on a Friday where the system starts to slow down a little bit. That means they're in Europe working on it.
Okay.
They're in the system, they're playing around with it, they're doing something, and they just jumped in a little bit early for us. They don't always treat us like the number one like we think we are all the time. They kind of just give the Americans the back seat sometimes. So there are some things, some words, some processes that seem a little bit quirky. That's just that German engineering thinking. So it's going to take you right into this screen right away. You'll see a lot of things are similar to AllTrack. It's the same processes as AllTrack. It's just going to be a little bit cleaner now, a little different. We started this system with Trimble 5 to 6 years ago. It was a partnership. They had AllTrack, we had OnTrack. We designed it together. We kind of invested in it together. We kept going, they stopped going. So you'll see that all your data here is all the same as it was before. If you highlight over something, it'll tell you exactly what column that is. You know, I can highlight over each thing, and I can completely customize these columns with a customized view here. So I can choose from a lot of different categories to be able to view it here. You have this basic toolbar right here. So if I click on an asset, I can, well, this is obviously add a new tool. Transfer, I have a new button called Quick Transfer. Hilti Services, Label, Status, Edit, Delete. So just to start, if I just click Edit here, it's going to take me right into that asset. I can change the tag on it, the scan code number. I can edit the serial number. Inventory is just a third tracking number. Some people would put like that ACO1 in there as the inventory number. I think you guys use that too much and it made too much sense to put it there. I like it as the name. It's much more visible for the phone. It makes for a lot more friendly searching.
Okay.
So you'll see in the phone how it's set up. Having it as the name, I think, was super important to make your process as easy as possible. You can upload photos from the computer right in here. Just drag and drop right in. And then, yeah, so that's kind of how the editing works. You can do something new called multi-edit. So I can select multiple assets and go over to multi-edit, and I can change any of these categories all at once over multiple assets. So it makes for cleaning up the system a lot easier than it was in AllTrack and in the original OnTrack. So say I just wanted to change the name of the group and not have to select all 50 hammer drills. I can just go in here, type in a new group, or move them to a new group that I've already created, and just change it all at once. Quick transfer is another thing that you hadn't seen before. If I just click quick transfer, it no longer just puts it in my cart. I can just immediately just go right in, find my job, hit transfer, and do it right there from that front screen. Now, if I want to put in more details, I can add it to my transfer cart. Go up to my cart here in the top right, have it there. Just going to walk me through some clicks. Just a little bit extra than the regular quick transfer, and it's so that I can maybe set a transfer date. I can put in notes, I can put in a task code, stuff like that. That's not possible from doing the quick transfer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. Just go to my cart, clear out my cart. Back to assets. Now up here we have these filter bars. This is the way to search through this whole screen. So I have filters down here. I can just go into my asset groups here. All the data is the same as it was before. So I just go to battery hammer drills. I see my battery hammer drills of where they are. Seem pretty simple?
Yep.
You like it?
Yeah.
if you were like using all track all the time, this is just like it's like getting a new truck, you know. Channel locks, you know. So right here, same thing. It's pretty simple to think about. Now there's this cool thing up here called add this view. So say I'm always looking at like, I always just need to see my benders right away or something. You guys have them as
Oh, they're at the top because it'd be a 1/4 inch bender, 1 inch foot bender. Yeah.
Like say it's like stuff like that. And I just always want to see where my 1 inch benders are. I can create this view called 1 inch benders. And then anytime and it'll save there just for your screen. So that anytime I want to see it, I can just go in here and it'll always be there. And if I add anything new to that, it will automatically filter in there as well. This is good for like big job sites you're always looking at, or for, you know, high value items that just to save a few seconds each time from having to scroll through and click through this and figure out where it is. You can just save views, and you can do multiple filters as well. So
can you do that like for a job instead of
absolutely.
a tool? Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
So over here I have my current location. So I can say Bean's work truck, check it,
And then add it that way.
done. You can do it for any of the filters that are on here. So and like I said, multiple filters. So I can do Bean's truck and then do the hammer drills or something in there.
Okay.
Stuff like that. I can do a certain manufacturer. Any of these filters over here to the right, there's a ton of different options. Now some things are Hilti related, so they only apply to the Hilti tools, but there still are a lot of other filters here for you. Like for instance, image. I'm sure over time you're probably going to start adding in some images. A nice way to filter out all the ones you have added is just click no here, and as you add them, it'll go away from your screen, and then you can narrow down your
Narrow
images.
down, okay.
Okay, labeling is something interesting that's kind of new. It's just another way to add on more identifying items that we were kind of limited before. You can add as many labels as you want. So you can label things cordless, you can label things for certain types of jobs or for certain people, or you can really just go crazy. If there's like 5 names for a tool and you've only listed one, you could put the other names in here and keep adding them to different things. This way, if a guy searches for it that way, both of them work.
Yeah. Okay. That would be good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all I would have to do is just go like cordless, created. That's all I have to do. And now when I click on that, over here I have this cordless label, and I can easily just go in and remove it out. Right there.
Okay.
Perfect. Now most of the adding is probably going to be done from the phone, but you can totally add it from the computer as well. So if I click add, it's just going to walk me through all my basics. Everything with the red asterisk is going to be mandatory. Adding a manufacturer, so obviously we have everything you've already added into the list, but say there was a new one, I just type it in, it's going to say create. I created, it works. Model, same thing. Say I already have a template, so click on that. That's how I get my template up. So it's going to use like what you've already done before.
Yep.
It'll always be there listed, and if you just want to change something, you would just have to remove the template and type it in and start from fresh.
Okay.
Name is where I put your code, obviously, so whatever it is. And then you put your group. Now things can be ungrouped, which they couldn't be before. It doesn't have to be in a group, but I think putting it in a group just makes it easier to search for things.
Yeah.
And then you put in your description. And now here's an interesting thing which I would recommend you do for like your gang boxes and stuff, is you can make something into something called a storage asset. And what that means is that I can now transfer tools in and out of that asset. So I can take, like, say you have an electric bender and you have all those things, you can keep them in that gang box. I can add those and put them in that gang box, and they travel with that gang box. I just scan the gang box and everything will move with it, but I can also remove it in and out. I can show you an example. We can make this one storage. So you'll see up here now I have location, storage asset, employee. So I can make any of my employees now a default location. They're no longer like In the old system, you used to have to make your employee a location.
Mm-hmm.
Now employees are just employees, and you can transfer in and out of them without having to make them locations.
Okay.
So just location is the shop. Current location is the shop. You also have this repeat feature. So if you get 10 brand new Milwaukee drills and they're the same thing, and you just did that same model, I can hit repeat and it's gonna take me right there and put in that template already and save me some time every time. I am just gonna add this for example. Now here I'm gonna make the current location my storage asset. See here, one stored asset. So I click on that, I can go down here, I can see my stored asset, and I can see what I made them the same, but that's what we like in your gang box. You'll be able to see all your tools that are in your gang box. Oh, that keeps popping up, I don't like that. It might mean that they're already working on it today, which would be very annoying. It happens to me quite a bit lately. We just had our big quarterly update last week. So this was kind of a big week to kind of figure out what worked and what didn't work in that update. We do one major update every quarter. Oh, see, it's doing all these things. They're definitely working on it right now. I'm gonna delete this.
Yes.
Let's delete this one first. All right, now you're not normally going to delete things. You are already retiring them. Now I do have a retired location, but making tools retired now is a lot easier than it was before. All I have to do is select the tool, go to status, change it to retired. All you got to do, it'll change this to retired, but actually I don't remember, it's AC. So I click retired, like that, it'll go away from my list.
Okay.
So I don't see it until I go to my filters, go over here to retired, it'll be hidden by default, hit check, then I see all my retired. So I put in all your tools that were already retired still. And I want to bring it back, I just click on it, go to my status, make it operational again. Now I did still put a location in there called retired tools. I like to transfer everything to that location anyway, just so I have it all organized in one place. I also made a location called tool repair. Anytime you send out tools for repair, you can transfer it to that location. You can also change the status to in repair if you want, just to kind of keep yourself accountable for what's out being repaired at that time. Does anybody have any questions about assets?
I think so.
Nope, I'm
Pretty
good.
straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Quantity items. Is that something you guys talked about? You guys aren't messing with consumables or anything like that?
I mean, the only thing we have are, we got your cabinet full of drill bits, but I just go through that and.
You didn't track that in the old system at all either?
No, that was usually just when we got low, I'd keep
Gotcha.
10 on hand.
All right, so just to show you how this works real quickly, I'm just gonna walk you through the basic process. Say I wanted to add a new one. I give it a scan code just like anything else. Hilti, say it's EY 100. You would just create a basic unit, just like any inventory system. So say it's like by the piece. group is. It's called epoxy. Put in description. A one-time cost per box. Let's say 250. All right. So I created this thing called epoxy. I didn't add any units. I didn't add any stock. I didn't add any locations or anything like that. We now use these things called allocations. So when I click on that, I can add an allocation. So it can be any of these three things as well. So say I went to this work truck and I added 5 boxes. And when I got down to 2 boxes, I wanted to get an alert. Click add. Now I know I have 5 pieces on this truck. Pretty basic, pretty simple, and you can have, you can choose 5, 10 items and just start with that and see if you like it and try it out. You don't have to use it obviously, but it's in there. You'll get alerts when things run low. So if those drill bits ever do run below 3, you'll get an email right away saying, hey, we've transferred out to 3, time to reorder before we get down to 0. So it can be helpful. I know you guys have a lot of consumables.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you have to dive into all of that, but it definitely can help, manage some of those basic things like, and if you wanted to restock, you would just click stock change here, do a restock, say I'm adding 5, purchased 12, 10, and it would just bump it right up to 10. Like this stock change down to 0. It won't let you just make the stock disappear. Test. Now I have no allocations. Now I can delete this. Perfect. That's how quantity items works. And it doesn't have to be consumable item. It's just box here default status to consume for transfers. Some people will do it with like channel locks and shovels and things like that you have as assets. So that is that. All right, so locations, pretty simple and straightforward. The difference from old on track to this is that you used to be able to view all your tools and all your equipment by the assets page or the locations page. You used to be able to like go to locations, pick a job, and all those tools would pop up. It doesn't really work like that anymore. The way it works now is I have to click on it here, and then I would go over here to like my baseball card information, and I'd click on assets, and it would take me back to the assets tab and filter out for that job.
Okay.
So it just takes me right to it. Everything will always be in assets.
Okay.
So it just takes me right back there. I see what's on Brian's truck, and it's all there. I didn't show you that part either. Over here is all your baseball card information. So you'll have your serial number, scan code, model, all that stuff. All your purchasing information, any services you do, as well as your last transfers of the tool. Adding in a new location, I click add. This is just like before. You have a little bit less options than before. Just warehouse, job site, and groups. Click a job site. Go down and select manager. And you put in an address. What's the zip code here?
21703.
Is there a main street in Frederick? I would assume there has to be.
I would think.
And it will actually automatically just place it right on the map for you. There it is. 123 Main Street. Okay, next, I can put it in a group. I'm putting it in my job sites group. Now I got it. The map will appear there. I also have this map over here where I can see all my jobs laid out. That's like that first screen you used to get on track.
Yep.
And you'd be like, I don't really need much with this screen, but it is kind of cool. But like, so now it's way to the side if you ever just want to see your layout of jobs. That's my list. Go to 1, 2, 3 main. So I'm not going to be able to do this because I have a special type of access. But under status here, there'll be that button that says archived. When your job is finished, you'll archive it. It'll remove it from your day-to-day list. You can always bring it back and keep the history if you need it, instead of deleting the job.
Okay.
Inactive won't take it off your list. It'll keep it here. It will just make it so that things can't be transferred in and out of the job.
Okay.
If I ever wanted to edit a location, I just click on it, click edit, go down here, change the manager, add in the address, change the address. I put all your job numbers under location ID. So that's how they show up. I can also always add that location ID here. Here. So now I always see my location number right there. Now I edited that on my screen. It's not going to show that on your screen until you edit it when you log in.
Okay.
So everyone will have their own individual view.
Okay.
You can obviously sort here. It'll just say first name, Andrew, click it. It'll go right there. Obviously, anything you type in the search bar will come right through as well. Scan code. I just did everything yesterday, just really quickly. When you just type in ACO1, boom, it's right there. Like, so when I was dispersing all those tools out to all those jobs, I could just type in that code every time and it pops up like immediately. So that'll be your most useful tool there. Any questions about locations?
No, that's
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
You can obviously sort anything in here. You know, I can sort it by asset count. So I can see the shop has the most assets and just work my way down from there, see who's got what. Well, I had a question for you. NAID, one of the jobs, they didn't matter which job I put it in. There was 2 jobs there, 2 NAID.
Yeah, so
jobs.
most of they're probably going to be going into that one. The other one,
This one?
yeah.
Okay, so all I have to do is go over here, go assets, select all, quick transfer. And now they're there.
Cool.
Okay. Yep.
I saw there was a
Yeah.
separate for those 2. Was there another
Yeah,
repeater?
we have a lot like that.
There was another repeater. It was this.
It was probably the Illume.
No, that one. Oh, it was this one.
Milk
Oh,
City.
Miltani.
I think there was 2 for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think there's a new one.
Oh,
Yeah.
there was nothing. Was there nothing there?
No,
No
yeah, there's
assets,
nothing
yeah.
there. Yeah.
There
So
was another one. I can't remember which one.
it's probably Northrum.
Yes, it was Northrop. Did it matter?
No, it didn't matter.
Okay, and you can always go in and.
Yeah.
Alright, perfect. Employees, alright. Same concept as before. I got all your guys in here now. No one really has access right now because I didn't want them to get the email because you only have 24 hours to log in. I didn't want them to be like, what is this, without being told anything before. So say I'm giving a foreman access to the system. So Zach here. Hit edit. Before the question was at the very top, do you want to give this person employee or access? You click yes, and then they would have their username thing. Now I'll go all the way to the bottom. So I go all the way to the bottom here, application access, click that. Does the user have an email address? You put in their username, that will be their email, or their email, that will be their username. And you're gonna give them a role just like before. I haven't created any custom roles. We can do that in just a second.
Okay.
So we'll probably create one called foreman. We'll give that to them. Click admin or whatever it is. And then as soon as we hit complete, it will send them that email to log into the system. Kate, we should get you in there. Kate, what's your email?
admin@fbharding.com.
How would you best describe your role?
You can go down to reception if there's no admin. Yeah, that's fine. Nothing else looks close. Not a
CEO.
foreman. Yeah. Scott would love that.
Alright, so you're gonna get an email right now to set up a password and we'll be able to log into the system.
Cool, thanks.
It's the same thing with adding a new worker, first name, last name. It's the same as it was in OnTrack. Responsibility, the same as it was before. If you make them a location manager, you can add them to this, to the jobs. Responsible employee means you can add tools to their name. Location manager gives you all the every access. So if you make them a location manager, they're also a responsible employee. And then this is where you add in certificates, which we'll get into in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
You put in their phone numbers. Now, if you do put in these employees' phone numbers, their numbers will be clickable through the app. So if like you pull up their stuff and you see their name, you would be able to just hit their number right over there, and it will call them immediately from the phone. So that could be something you guys end up doing. Filters, just like before, you'll have certificate filters as well. So you mentioned like who can do what with certain certificates. If they have certain certificates, you will be able to filter by them. Pretty basic part of it. Reports, just like with before, you have the ability to report on anything. There's no data to really report right now, but did you used to run reports at all in the old system?
Yeah, didn't you,
Well, it was just to print off, to send the form in their tool list.
Gotcha.
But
So
we
that
don't
was-
have to do that now, right? Yeah.
So the easiest way to do that actually is like say I have Fanny. I go here, go to assets. I can just go over here to export, and it will put this list right into Excel. Now there is a lot of data, so you can like delete certain columns if you want. It'll have all the data of every category there. So reports does allow you to like slow that down, but all I'd have to do is just go like,
So you can't do this through the app? Like,
no, you can see all this through the app. Yeah, you can see your tool list through the app and everything. But say you wanted to print out a list for somebody of their tools. You'd
yeah,
have
but
to-
what if we don't? I thought we were able to send the report through the
You are-
program.
Oh yeah, you absolutely can. That's through inventory through the system. But say somebody who doesn't have access to the system say,
Wanted, like, a paper
hey,
copy.
Okay.
hey, I want to print out a report of everything on Fanny. Like somebody higher up than you just wants a list of every tool. You hit delete, and then you have all the tools right there.
Mhm.
All inventory, all reports, and all that can be done through the app.
Okay.
This is for people who are not having access to the system. It has a lot of data though.
Yeah.
But you can also like run a report with that. So I can go add here. Choose days, choose different filters. I'm just gonna do current location, Fanny. Serial number, pass it.
Probably just description. Scan code, serial number, name. Yeah, that should probably be all they'll need.
I'm just making it up. You can choose how you want to group it. You can choose to have scheduled reports, so it could like send you every week. You can send you the same report automatically. Monday morning, you get a report on something, like a transfer report or something like that.
That'd
You
be
can
so
choose
nice.
different recipients to get it. Complete. Generate report. So I'm gonna go to my generated reports. It's made. Download. And it's gonna be a lot less data than that other screen. And now I just have my straight tool list. Scan code, asset name, manufacturer, model description. You can literally report on any piece of data in the system. Feel free to play around with that. All right, this admin folder is pretty important. This is where we're gonna kind of cover everything that I jumped over. Editing groups and manufacturers, done from right here in these first two. So I go to groups, I'd be able to edit any of my group names. I'd be able to move them under subgroups, edit, add, delete. Now, when you're adding a new tool in, you can just create the group from right there if it's not already in there. But say you spelled something wrong or wanted to edit it, it'd be from right there. Manufacturers, same exact thing. I can merge manufacturers if I want, or I can combine things if I just have two of the same ones pretty much. I can add them, edit, pretty basic. Templates is the same as it was in the old system. This is where you edit any manufacturer model descriptions at the same time. So say I have right here something with 145 assets, this 10-foot ladder. I can go in here and upload a stock photo of that 10-foot ladder, and all 145 assets will update at once to all have that photo. So that's the easiest way to knock out photos, is to just sort by the most and just go through and just I mean, right here, if you upload 5 photos, you have 400 assets already done with photos. So, and if you just wanted to edit a description, you come in here, edit it, changes it for everything. So, make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Service templates. This is like maintenance and any upkeep you want to do on your equipment, tools. People get creative and do it for like jobs sometimes, but I can say I can do just a basic tool repair. You can make it a one-time service or recurrent. I'm gonna make this kind of a one-time, but if you do like a recurrent on like a 4-month like cord check or maintenance check or whatever it could be, I can put in the number of days, weeks, months, years that I want in between each service. Add an attachment, I can add up what like a process list on how they can do the servicing or what they need to do, or like a sheet you need to fill out. Hit complete, it adds it to my list. Go back to my assets, here. Over here I have these services. So I just click on here. I have nothing here, so I click assign service. It'll be in my drop down. And this is just me creating the service. Alright, so now I have it in my system. Now I want to complete it. So say it was a month later or whatever it was, I see I have my service coming up. Click on it. And this can be done from the phone as well. I hit complete, choose my date, choose my cost, my provider,
And you get reminders of those?
and any notes. You'll get email reminders, yeah.
Email.
As well as alerts in the system. Hit complete. Now it's in my historic services. So if it was a recurring service, I'd automatically have another upcoming service automatically created. But because it's just a one-time, it's in historic. You can just go in and remove that out. Now it's gone. So say do you guys do any in-house repair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So just say it's like basic stuff that you just want to keep basic track of things that you're working on, just so you're not constantly working on the same things over and over again, or putting money where you shouldn't. You can just keep basic track with that.
That's cool.
Very general tool repair one. You can create as many as you want to, as many different services. Locations. So we have our hierarchy. This is where you can just edit what goes under where. You can, like, say you forgot to put a job in, you can just click it here and move it into there. Pretty basic. And this is where you bring back your archived locations. So just be here, you click it, and you just say restore. All right, roles. This is important. So it is just like before, but before you kind of just had like those 4 boxes to check and uncheck and if they can transfer. Now you can do basically any part of the system. You can control what they can do. So there's just a lot of different fields to choose from. Most of them you don't even have to mess with. You wouldn't really give it to them. So the thing we want to do is we want to give them the ability to do. Would you want them to be able to make something like broken or in repair, stuff like that?
Right. You want them to be able to mark it broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have the ability to annotate it through the app. That would be
Yes,
awesome.
yeah, exactly.
Because we have a red tag tool system. If a tool gets broken, they put a red tag on it. But the specific information could be put on here as well.
Absolutely.
So you're
Okay.
creating a role, and then when we have all these users, we could just give them that role?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm
that's
gonna create one for foreman right now. So we have that. We're not gonna give them the ability to add, so we just can skip all the way down through there. Now, it does have this like rule sometimes where the farther down you click, it's gonna give you, the ability to do things above it. It's just kinda automatic. So
I
if I
gotcha.
add asset templates, or delete, it's gonna give me the ability to do other things, because like with one comes the other.
Gotcha.
Just keep it editing, and then transfers. So we want them to be able to perform a transfer.
No, right? You don't want them to?
If they want to do job-to-job transfers,
What are your thoughts on that? Like,
It's gonna
What's
happen.
the last one?
Yeah, the ability to have job-to-job transfers, it happens. So if they can do it through the app, that would be
That's
awesome.
if you have something on called confirmed delivery. What that means is when you make a transfer, they actually have to go on their phone and confirm they got it with a button.
That would be
But until they
perfect.
do that, it shows that it's in transit, which can, if they don't do it right away, it can just sit in transit and then it doesn't like kind of show
Mhm.
correctly on your screen. And this would be the ability to be able to recall that. That's like a high admin status.
Okay.
The
But yeah.
higher up it is on this list, the more like, the less admin it is.
Cool, okay.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I think transferring tools.
Leave it on.
I would give them the basic.
Mm-hmm.
Because then everything falls on you if not, so. We don't wanna give them any employee editing. They don't really need to get alerts. General, this is all admin stuff.
Yeah.
And then that. So I would just leave it at that. You can click done and you can actually go over here and see their permissions to the right here. So I can see they have 9. Ignore these 2 here. They're in there, but you can't, it's like an issue that we've been, like, America's been dealing with. They can't use either of these. It's just there.
Okay.
This is for me, and I think this is for like our team in Europe. I don't really get it, but it is what it is. Everyone is just the most basic. You can view stuff. You can't really do anything else. That's kind of automatic standard, just like before. And then admin, all permissions.
You said everyone, they can just view it,
They would just be able to view.
so we could do
not
that
be
for
able
the
to do
PMs,
anything.
you know?
PMs and
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, general settings. These are pretty basic as well. Alert settings. You'll be able to control all the different times and different ways you get alerts. So
So we could get alerts if people's certificates are expiring.
actually, yeah, and I skipped over certificates for some reason. Let's go into certificates. Okay, so OSHA 30, just to start off. Just like before, that's all I had to do to add it to my list. Okay. Just like the service templates, forklift, complete. Then I would go back to my employees. So I have Zach here, certificates, hit assign, add the OSHA 30, put in the number, whatever it would be, you put in the dates. If it doesn't ever expire, you would click lifetime. If it does expire, you put in whatever the expiration is. Any comments, then you can upload a photo.
That's cool.
Hit assign. Now that's on there due to expire, and he will actually have a button on his phone and all the foreman will that says My Certificates, and they'll be able to click My Certificates and pull up their certificates with the photo right there.
That's cool.
Would all employees be able to do that? If we
All employees have that My Certificates button, but it's only seeing their certificates.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It's actually not like a main button on the screen. You have to click on like the menu button in the top, and it will drop down and say My Certificates.
Okay.
Here. Oh, I should have showed you. But then you can also renew, like that toolbar will say renew. You click it, you can renew.
Now, who would get? Would everyone? Would the foreman and the admin get alerts on expiring certificates?
You would get, and like the foremen themselves would get an alert about their own, and then you can set up however many people you want to get in addition.
Okay.
That's actually where I was about to go to, was in here.
Yeah. Okay.
If I go to my employee certificates and I have forklift, I can choose additional employees to get it. So like you see right now, only the certificate owner gets that.
Mhm.
So I could add you guys in there just by typing in your name here. And then here I can choose how far in advance I want to get the alert to renew that.
Okay.
So yeah, I would just, your name will pop right up and then you would get those emails.
Okay.
And it would be based off each certificate, so you can change each certificate.
Mhm.
Some might be more important than others. Some people might want to have their PM get certain ones, but then other people PM not get other ones.
Yeah.
You can pick and choose how you want to do that. It's the same with service alerts. You'll see in here more people get it just to start.
Yes.
But you can add as many people as you want, and just like before, you choose how far in advance. But that's the way it works with all these alerts. So like stock alerts, fleet return alerts. This is all kind of Hilti stuff.
What's
down here.
the transfer return alerts?
Okay, so when you're doing a transfer, you can set up a date for it to be returned.
Okay.
Like automatically. Some people use it. It can get a little complicated if
Yeah.
people start doing it, unless it's just kind of one person managing it. But then you'll get alerts, hey, on Friday I need this thing back because I gotta send it out back again on Monday. So you'll get an alert on Thursday to make sure you get that thing back. Transfer history, you'll see all your transfers. These are just transfers I made yesterday, just to disperse everything out, but everything will always be paper trailed. I can click it and I can get this like delivery note. You can set it up where every single transfer you get an email like this with whatever you transferred over. And it kind of just covers everything from where it went to who did it, what time. If they signed for it on the phone when you did the transfer, their finger signature would show up right here, the person you're transferring to. And then you'd have all these details up here. You have your, up here in the top right, you have like your alerts here. So this is where you would get email alerts you can set up, but you can also get in-app alerts. And I can control that here, so I can see here what comes through email and what comes through in-app. So service, employee, tool alerts will all come through both. And you can set it up where you get a consolidated report, you know, where like once a week it would send you all your service alerts for that week, or I can get it per alert. Next to that, I have my transfer cart. I can access my transfer history from there as well. And you can search for it here, so if there's a certain date or a certain person you want to see their transfers, I can go up here and see. Some things changed on me this week, so nothing crazy. All right, and then my name up here, just like before, is like company settings. First, I have this contact support and information. This number, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday, in Tulsa. 7 people speaking English. There's a Spanish speaker if needed. There's a French speaker if needed. And they're there to answer all your questions like when one of us can't. So if I'm in a meeting like this, I can't answer my phone. These guys are here all the time. Did Evan and Jim call them when they were here?
I don't think they did.
We're just gonna call them real quick. Promise I didn't plan this. They answer really quick. There's no yes.
On track, this is Elisa.
It didn't even ring, and they
Yeah.
answered, "Hey, Elisa, how you doing? It's Ryan Kaiser."
Good morning, Ryan. How are you today?
I'm good. You just answered in 0 rings. That was really impressive. Usually I say 2 rings, but that was good. I'm good. I'm actually just doing a training.
This morning.
I'm just doing a training out here in Maryland with FB Harding, and I just wanted to give you guys a call. Could you kind of just briefly explain to them what you guys do in the back office?
Sure, I'd be more than happy to. So we are a team of 5, and we are specifically here for our on-track customers. This is all we do, our support our on-track customers. We're open from Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time. We have the ability to remote into your mobile device or your desktop if you needed any assistance walking through any processes. You know, had some questions about it, we can remote in and specifically walk you through what you're needing to have done.
And if you guys ever see like anything buggy in the system, you know, it is new software. We're always figuring things out. If you ever see anything that just doesn't look or looks funny that day, just give them a call and let them know, and they can let you know right away, hey, this is an issue we have going on everywhere, or this is an issue that just you're dealing with, and then they're gonna remote in and actually figure out what's going on, send it to our global team, and then they'll get you guys fixed. So that's kind of how we, you know, fix the problem. We don't ignore it. We don't try to avoid it. We try to jump at it right away and fix it. So
Okay.
cool. You guys have any questions at all?
Nope, I'm good.
Awesome. Thanks, Elisa. Appreciate it. Talk to you later.
Anytime.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Somebody must have gotten promoted or quit in the last 2 weeks. But and they actually added an extra hour, so somebody else is working an extra hour now. So they're gonna adjust that time in there. So it's gonna be 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Cool.
That was really quick. I
Yeah, it
promise
was.
I
It
didn't
didn't
plan
even.
that.
I didn't even.
I was like,
ring.
do you ever get nervous that they're not gonna answer right
They
away after you
occasionally
talked it
they
up?
do screw me over, yeah, and then I call them out. Yeah, occasionally they'll like be in a meeting for 10 minutes, and I'll just happen to call in that 10 minutes. But they're awesome. A few of them have been on that team for 5 years now, and they can walk you through anything. Yeah, it's just awesome to have that quickest support for something like this. So. And this is where they have remote access. You click on this button here, they walk you like through a code, and they can immediately get in your computer and start moving the mouse and figuring out what's going on.
Cool.
You can also access the website here, hilti.com. There'll be release notes on track. So this was just this week. We have all these new things were done in the system, and you'd be able to get an order, or be able to go in and actually see that. Also have this website here that has a bunch of support, user manuals, stuff like that. FAQs, release notes, those numbers, how-to videos, stuff like that. Just basic videos. Most of the stuff you can figure out on your own. It's really user-friendly, but we want to give you as many resources of support as possible. Obviously, that's the number I just called. It's in the app as well,
Okay.
so you can access it real easily. I mean, there's other crazy things in here, like send us a message. I've had a customer who, like, at 3 in the morning sent us an email, and like within 10 minutes, a Hilti rep in China called them and asked them if there's anything they can do to help them right now. Like, I think that's a little ridiculous, but like,
We'll be
it was
testing
like,
that out.
hey, like, they were just like, yeah, you can just send it to me in the morning, like, just call me in the morning. I just was doing it now, and the person was like, no problem. But that's how quick sometimes they can respond to you. So. I guess the person spoke English. I don't know. But and then there's also this thing up here, this question mark, which is pretty cool. I call it the dummy button. It's made for that guy who just can't figure it out. And it'll actually walk you through all your clicks. Say I wanted to add an asset, it's gonna literally block out every area and tell me exactly. And this is on the phone too.
Okay.
And tell me exactly where I need to click. What do I need to do in order to make this work? Walk me through every click. It won't let me go forward. And it literally doesn't stop until you're done. And they're constantly adding more and more things to that. If you give it a second, it appears. Yeah, like last week, none of these other things were here. So they're always adding a quick tour of on track. It's kind of like a nice, friendly way to get you comfortable with the system.
Yep. Okay.
And so that is the web. You guys have any questions at all? Seemed pretty straightforward.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty user friendly.
I mean, you guys were already using, because you were already using something so similar,
Mhm.
it's not that crazy of a leap. Like if you had, most of the time my job, like you saw me show up yesterday with like brake cleaner and towels and ready to go. Like most of my time it's to set up this from scratch. So like
I
if
got
I'm
you.
going into companies, I'm not working in the office, I'm out there tagging every tool, adding every tool, building this system,
Mhm.
and then showing them how their company is about to completely change how they do things. So you guys have already taken all those steps, so this is going to be a real smooth transition for you guys.